कुंज बिहारी गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा माधव राधे जय पंचतत्व जय पंचतत्व जय नृसिंहदेव जय नृसिंहदेव जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद नित्य गौर हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल जय ओम विष्णुपाद परहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्रीमद् भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य बीबीजी फाउंडर श्रील प्रभुपाद की Jayam Vishnupara Parahangsa Parivrajagacharya Astottara Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki Anantakoti Vaishnavrinda ki Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyam Kun Radha Kun Giriraj Govardhan ki Brajabhumi Shri Vrindavan Dham ki Shri Navadip Mayapur Dham ki Purushottam Kshetra Shri Jagannath Puri ki Ganga Mai Jamuna Mai ki Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi ki Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki Jainitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the lotus feet of Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This morning we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 21, verses 6 through 23. Text 23 is on the board, so I will read from verse 6 onwards, verses and translations, and incorporate some of discussions on these verses in the presentation itself. So starting with verse number 6. Toyai samhahane strakbhi divya gandhanulepanai dupyai dipai surabhibhin lajakshate palaksh kurai stavanai jaya shabdaischa tadvidya maiman kitai Nritya Vaditra Gitascha Sankadudnibi Nishavanahi. Translation. They worship the Lord by offering fragrant flowers, water, padya, argya, sandalwood pulp, and aguru pulp, incense, lamps, fused rice, unbroken grains, fruits, roots, and sprouts. While doing so, they offered praise indicating the glorious activities of the Lord, and shouted, Jai, Jai. They also danced, played instruments, sang, sounded conch shells, and beat kettle drums, in this way worshipping the Lord. Text 8. Jambavan diksharajastu bheri shardhair mano javaha vijayam dikshu sarvashu mahotsavam agoshayat. Jambavan, king of the bears, also joined in the ceremony, sounding his bugle in all directions. He declared a great festival for Lord Vamanadeva's victory. Text 9. Mahim sarvam hiritam drishtva tripada vayaja yachnaya uchusva bhartu asura dikshitasyat yamarshitaha. Translation. When the demoniac followers of Maharaj Bali saw that their master, who had been determined in performing sacrifice, had lost all his possessions to Vamadev, who had taken them away on the plea of begging 3 paces of land, they were very angry and spoke as follows. Text 10. Navayam Brahma Bandhu Vishnu Maya Vinambara Vijarupa Pratichano Devakaryam Chikeshati. Translation. This Vamana is certainly not a Brahman, but the best of cheaters, Lord Vishnu. Assuming the form of a Brahman, he has covered his own form, and thus he is working for the interests of the demigods. Text 11. Anena yachamanena shatruna vaturupina sarvashvam naritam bhartu nyastadhyandasya barhishi. Translation. O Lord, Bali Maharaj, because of his position in performing yajna, our Lord, Bali Maharaj, because of his position in performing yajna, has given up the power to punish. Taking advantage of this, our eternal enemy, Vishnu, dressed in the form of a brahmachari beggar, has taken away all his possessions. Text 12. Satyavratasya satatam dikshitasya vishet shataha nanritam bhashtitom sakyam brahmanas yasya dayavataha. O Lord, our Lord, Bali Maharaj, is always fixed in truthfulness, and this is especially so at present, since he has been initiated into performing a sacrifice. He is always kind and merciful toward the Brahmins, and he cannot at any time speak lies. Text 13. Tasmad asya vado dharmo bhartu shustrashanam chana itya yuddhani jagru baler anucharasuraha. Therefore, it is our duty to kill this Vamandev, Lord Vishnu. It is our religious principle and the way to serve our master. After making this decision, the demonic followers of Maharaj Bali took up their various weapons with a view to killing Vamandev. Text 14. Tesava Vamanam kantum shula patti shapanayah anichanto bale rajan pradravan jataman yavaha. O king, the demons, aggravated by their usual anger, took their lances and tridents in hand, and against the will of Bali Maharaj, they pushed forward to kill Lord Vamandev. Text 15. Tan abidravato drishtva diti janit kapan riva prahasyanu chara vishno pratyashedhan udayudaha. O king, when the associates of Lord Vishnu saw the soldiers of the demons coming forward in violence, they smiled. Taking up their weapons, they forbade the demons to continue their attempt. Texts 16 and 17. Nanda sunando tajayo vijaya prabalo bala kumuda kumudakshascha vishvakshena patatrita rat jayanta shrutta devascha pushpadanto ta satvataha sarve nagayuta pranas chamum te jagnun asurim. Translation. Nanda, Sunanda, Jai, Vijay, Prabala, Bala, Kumuda, Kumudaksha, Vishvakshena, Patatrit, Garuda, Jayanta, Strutadev, Pushpadanta, and Shatvata were all associates of Lord Vishnu. They were as powerful as 10,000 elephants, and now they began killing the soldiers of the demons. Hanyamanan swakan drištva purushanuchared balhi varayam asas samradhan kavyasapam anusmaran. When Bali Maharaj saw that his own soldiers were being killed by the associates of Lord Vishnu, he remembered the curse of Sukracharya and forbade his soldiers to continue fighting. Text 19. He viprachitte he raho he neme shruyatam vachaha ma yudyata nivatadvam nana kalo yam artakrit. O Viprachiti, O Rahu, O Nemi, please hear my words. Don't fight. Stop immediately, for the present time is not in your favor. Ya Prabhu Sarva text 20. Ya Prabhu Sarva Bhutanam Sukha Dukko Papattaye Tam Nati Vartitam Daityaha Porashir Ishvara Puman. O Daityas, by human efforts, no one can supersede the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who can bring happiness and distress to all living entities. Text 21. Yono bhavaya prag asid abhavaya divok kasam sa eva bhagavan adya vartate tad viparyayam. The supreme time factor, which represents the Supreme Personality, the Supreme Person, as was previously in our favor and not in favor of the demigods. But now that same time factor is against us. Text 22. Balenas sachivai buddhya durgair mantra shraddhat dibi samadibi upayascha kalam natyati vai janaha. No one can surpass the time representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead by material power, by the council of ministers, by intelligence, by diplomacy, by fortresses, by mystic mantras, by drugs, by herbs, or by any other means. Today's verse. Bhavatbhi nijitayete, Bhavatbhi nijitayete, Bahusho nucharahare, Bahusho nucharahare, Devenadhaista evadya, Devenadhaista evadya, Yuddhi jidva nadantina, Yuddhi jidva nadantina, Bhavadbhi nijitayete, Bahushono charahare, Devenadhaiste tha evadya, Yuddhi jidva nadantina. Bhavadbhi nijitayete, Bahushono charahare, Devenadhaste naivadya, Yuddhi jitva nadantina. Bhavadbhi nijitayete, Bahushono charahare, Devenadaste aivadya, Yuddhi jidva nadantina. Bhavadbhi nijitayete, Bhushono charahare, Devenadaista evadya, Yuddhi jidva nadantina. Anybody else? Matajis? Bhavadbhi nijitayete, Bahushanu charahare, Devenadhaista evadya, Yuddhi jidva nadantina. Bhavadbhi nijitayete, Bahushanu charahare, Devenadhaista evadya, Yuddhi jidva nadantina. Anybody else? Word for word. Bhavadbhi, by all of you demons, Nijita, have been defeated. He, indeed, Ete, all these soldiers of the demigods, Bahusha, in great number, Anucharaha, followers, Hare, of Lord Vishnu, Devena, by providence, Riddaye, whose opulence was increased, Te, they, within parentheses, the demigods, Eva, indeed, Adya, today, Yudhi, in the fight, Jitva, defeating, Nadanti, are vibrating in jubilation, Na, us. Translation. Previously, being empowered by providence, you defeated a great number of such followers of Lord Vishnu, but today those same followers, having defeated us, are roaring in jubilation like lions. We can repeat this responsively. Previously, being empowered by providence, you defeated a great number of such followers of Lord Vishnu, But today, those same followers, having defeated us, are roaring in jubilation like lions. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Bhagavad Gita mentions 5 causes of defeat or victory. Of these 5, Daiva, providence, is the most powerful. In parentheses, Nacha Devat Parang Bhalam. Bali Maharaj knew the secret of how he had formerly been victorious because providence was in his favor. Now, since that same providence was not in his favor, there was no possibility of his victory. Thus he very intelligently forbade his associates to fight. Bhavadbir nijitayete bahusho charahare devenadaischa evadya yuddhijidva nadantina. Previously, being empowered by providence, you defeated a great number of such followers of Lord Vishnu. But today, those same followers have defeated us. Having defeated us, are roaring in jubilation like lions. Namo Vishnuparaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Chaitanya Sonnitine Name Namami Bhakti Chaitanyam Prabhupada Anusevanam Shri Vrajadhanmatan Pradashikam Kripanavam. Namo Vishnuparaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namne Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nidvishesha Shanyavadi Paschatadeshakarine Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjala Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Panchakalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So this chapter is continuing with the discussion of Bali Maharaj's arrest by Vamanadev. And the first point which I thought was mentionable in terms of a discussion was Prabhupada mentions about the 5 causes of defeat or victory. So what are the 5 causes? This is explained in Bhagavad Gita. The 5 causes are the doer, the work, the situation, the endeavor, and fortune. So Prabhupada says in that purport, Bhagavad Gita chapter 5, text 8, a Krishna conscious person is pure in his existence and has nothing to do with any other work that depends on the 5 causes. So as we know, Krishna consciousness and the practitioners thereof are transcendental. But soon in this purport, Prabhupada speaks about Deva, and in parentheses he uses the word providence, is the most powerful. So of all these 5 items listed, providence or Deva is the most powerful. In a class given by Srila Prabhupada in Montreal, Canada, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 6, Text 1, on the 10th of June 1968, Srila Prabhupada says that Deva means godly. Not God, but godly. So Srila Prabhupada, and I quote, says, but if God is against you, in spite of all your arrangements, everything will be a failure. Now, there's 3 examples given in the same purport by Srila Prabhupada. The first one, he speaks about a businessman, starting off a business, having capital, manpower, resources. He also has some entrepreneurial skills to make this business succeed, but still he fails. What is the cause of his failure? It was not sanctioned by the Lord. Second example given in his purport is of a diseased man. So sometimes we see that a person may be ill, they do the necessary steps to get themselves cured by going to the doctor, be it allopathy, Ayurveda or homeopathy, and they may consult with the best doctors in their field, but still that person, if they're very much affected by this disease, may die even. So even though that person has consulted with the best doctor, has received the best treatment that money can buy, that person may still die because it's not within the hands of man. Then the third example given by Srila Prabhupada in that purport is of the ship called the Titanic. There was one ship called the Titanic which was unsinkable. And on its very first voyage, its maiden voyage, guess what happened? It sank. Because contrary to what could be seen above the surface of the water, which was seemingly a very small iceberg, this ship was designed to plow through icebergs. Beneath the surface of the water was a much bigger portion of the iceberg which ripped a hole in the hull of the Titanic, causing it to fill with water and to sink. Bali Maharaj mentions, Srila Prabhupada mentions here that Bali Maharaj knew the secret. Now it's very mysterious. What secret is Prabhupada speaking about here? Fortunately for us all, this is an open secret. And that secret is providence dictates our victory or defeat. Providence dictates the victory or defeat of everybody in material creation, be you a devotee or a non-devotee. But providence is under Krishna's control. And there is where devotees are superior to others in terms of relating to providence. But ultimately, even our providence can be changed. Other words or synonyms for providence are fate, destiny. They say your destiny cannot be changed, your fate cannot be changed. However, it can be changed by Krishna and the process of Krishna consciousness. So, Srila Prabhupada always quoted his spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada. He always said, Govinda Icha. Govinda Icha means God willing, Krishna willing, Govinda willing. So he had some plan to do X, Y, or Z, but he always put the will and sanction of the Lord before his own desire. That if Krishna wills this to happen, it will happen. So how does your fate or your destiny or your providence change? It may be changed by Krishna or Krishna's devotee in the process of Krishna consciousness. We look at chapter 7, text 28 of Bhagavad Gita. It lists the requirements for somebody to come into Krishna consciousness. And it mentions there that somebody has to be pious. So one devotee was speaking to Prabhupada about this. He says, Prabhupada, it says that people who are pious and fortunate come to Krishna consciousness. But from analyzing our lives, we don't see any piety. In fact, we are quite impious. So Prabhupada says, yes, I created your good fortune. You were unfortunate, but I created your good fortune. So everybody that comes into the material world comes in empty-handed. And they will leave empty-handed. Devotees also come into this world empty-handed, but will leave with Krishna consciousness. And any benefit, advancement, or progress we make on that path of spirituality is kept by us. It's not lost. This is discussed in chapter 2, text 40 purport. Prabhupada says about a little beginning on the spiritual path has no loss. There's no loss or diminution. So some small advancement towards perfection is in itself perfection. There's the sadhya and the sadhana. The sadhya is the goal. Sadhana is the process to get to the goal. So Krishna consciousness is so absolute that both the process and what you get at the end are both on the absolute platform. You benefit while you're practicing Krishna consciousness. And I'm sure all of you enthusiastically attending Bhagavatam class can attest to that. It's very relishable even in the practitioner stage of Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. Here it says, yes, last sentence. Thus he very intelligently forbade his associates to fight. Now as a king, he has every right to command his subjects, act in this way, do in this way, and they have to follow. But this was not the case with Bali Maharaj's follows, the demons. Why is he described as intelligent? He is described as intelligent because he knows Krishna's supreme position and he knows the power of providence. And both of these, Krishna and providence, have an influence over everybody, as I mentioned earlier. So what was his decision? He surrendered unto the will of the Lord. Sometimes you see this in our own lives. We have a plan. I'm going to do this. But unfortunately, Krishna's plan is this. So he may compromise and meet you halfway sometimes, which he generally does. But if your plan is tangential, if there's such a word, to what Krishna wants for you, you are going to be having great difficulty and obstruction in your lives. And when you align ourselves to Krishna, things flow very smoothly. So how do devotees and non-devotees react to their lives, to challenges, to reversals? This is information I'm getting from a class by His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu, which delivered in Denver in 2014. It's Bhagavatam, 8th Canto, Chapter 2, Text 31. There is described the pastime of Gajendra Moksha. So Prabhu says that devotees and non-devotees deal in different ways. They react in different ways to situations. If a non-devotee is faced with a reversal, first of all he thinks, why is this happening to me? It is so unfair. I'm a good person. Why is this happening to me? God is torturing me. He thinks like this. Or if some good comes his way, he thinks, of course good could come my way. I deserve it. What took it so long for it to come to me? And he believes that it is done, the good thing that came to him, the reward, is because of his own action. He doesn't see God's hand in it at all. This is the non-devotee. Now the Vaishnava, the devotee, he is thinking, when he gets some reversal, some unfortunate incident in his life, actually I deserve much worse than this. But Krishna, out of his kindness, has reduced it to a token. Prabhupada said, if you cut your finger, know that you should have lost your head. I think finger, head. It's a massive difference. And if the devotee gets some reward, he thinks, oh, I do not deserve this. This is all by the mercy of Krishna and all of you. I'm just an instrument. So this is the view of a devotee and a demon. A devotee and a non-devotee. So there's some examples given here in the earlier parts of the chapter. That's chapter 21, text 15, where it is said, O king, when the associates of Lord Vishnu, excuse me, that's not the wrong one, it's the wrong verse. Yes, text 14. O king, the demons, aggravated by their usual anger, took lances, tridents in hand, and against the will of Bali Maharaj, they pushed forward to kill Vamanadev. So what is shown about their nature? They're very passionate, they're very angry by nature, and they're induced to violence on the drop of a hat. Some people are like that, They will not discuss things out logically or in a civilized way, but they'll be prompted to argue with you or fight with you at the slightest hint of any disagreement. What was the reaction of the associates of Lord Vishnu? Here it says, text 15, O king, when the associates of Lord Vishnu saw the soldiers of the demons coming forward in violence, they smiled. Taking up their weapons, they forbade the demons to continue their attempt. Now the point of smiling is very interesting. You don't expect it in an argument. Two people are getting heated up, hot under the collar. All of a sudden one guy smiles. You think, what's happening with this guy? Well, there's a reason for that. If two people are in an argument and one person is confident, I'm correct, Krishna is with me, I'm saying and doing the right thing, why not smile? Why not smile? So the associates of Lord Vishnu knew that their position was correct. They knew that they were on the side of righteousness, and therefore they smiled. I am reminded of chapter 2, text 9 of Bhagavad Gita. It's actually the first time that Krishna is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, his name actually. And it says there, Krishna, smiling, drew Arjuna's chariots in the midst of both armies. Why did Krishna smile, you may ask? Krishna smiled because Arjuna had just surrendered to him as a disciple. Arjuna previously was putting forth so many logical, Pandit-like arguments against Krishna. But Krishna just said simply, you will instruct him from text 11 onwards. You're a fool. Huh? You're speaking like a Pandit, but actually you don't know the basics, which is the difference between spirit and soul. But you're speaking like a big Pandit. You're not a Pandit, because this is the basic thing you should know. So Krishna's smiling was caused because Arjuna had eventually surrendered unto him. Now, one important point mentioned in text 21, I'll read for you. The supreme time factor, which represents the Supreme Person, was previously in our favor and now not in our favor, now not in the favor of the demigods. But now that same time factor is against us. So the time factor is described in Bhagavad Gita as the great destroyer of the worlds. Chapter 11, text 32. Nobody can understand what is the time factor, but it's the supreme, most indomitable aspect of the material energy. Nothing can supersede time. A man's muscular physique will bend under the sickle of time. A woman's beauty will fade under the sickle of time. Time is all destroying, all consuming. So, there's one nice example given in Bhagavatam, Canto 1, chapter 9, verses 14 and 15. Bhishma Dev is lying on the bed of arrows, and the Pandavas come, specifically Yudhishthira Maharaj, because he wants counsel. He's going to be the future king. And during the council, the first thing that Bhishma Dev feels when he's seeing the Pandavas is great affection, paternal affection and love, because who could describe how a loved one could witness them going through so many reversals? Why did they deserve this? They were righteous, they had Krishna with them, but still they suffered so much in so many ways. We cannot even enumerate how many ways. But Bhishma Dev says there can be only one reason for this. It's because of insurmountable time, providence. Now I mentioned that in this class by His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu, he speaks about reversals. Now he quotes a verse from Bhagavatam, Canto 4, chapter 19, text 32. I'll read that verse to you. My dear king, Lord Brahma is addressing Prithu Maharaj. My dear king, do not be agitated and anxious because your sacrifices have not been properly executed due to providential impediments. Kindly take my words with great respect. We should always remember that if something happens by providential arrangement, we should not be very sorry. The more we try to rectify such reversals, the more we enter into the darkest region of materialistic thought. Now I'm going to read Srila Prabhupada's purport, then I'm going to comment. This is what Srila Prabhupada says on that verse. Sometimes the saintly or very religious person also has to meet with reversals in life. Such incidents should be taken as providential. Although there may be sufficient cause for being unhappy, one should avoid counteracting such reversals. For the more we become implicated in rectifying such reversals, the more we enter into the darkest regions of material anxiety. Lord Krishna also advised us in this connection. We should tolerate things instead of becoming agitated. Whose nature it is to become agitated, as per the verses I read just now? Followers of Vishnu or demons? So, this verse is saying, and purport is saying by Srila Prabhupada, that our lower nature to become agitated is actually demoniac in nature. Now, you push the right button on anybody, they will react. You just got to hit the right nerve. They got that weak spot. You hit that weak spot, out it comes. But we should work very, very hard on ourselves as Vaishnavas to make sure we have no such weak spot. Because Maya, Krishna through Maya will test you by hitting that very same spot. You want some evidence of this? Bhagavad Gita chapter 2. Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, Arjuna is requesting, Krishna, put my chariot amidst these two armies who are about to fight. Which Krishna does. He is Partha Sarati. Charity of Partha. However, where Krishna puts his Arjuna's chariot is most interesting. His Grace Burijan Prabhu comments on this. That Krishna puts the chariot of Arjuna directly in front of Bhishma and Dronacharya. Who are these two people to Arjuna? His grandfather and his martial arts teacher. Why? He could have parked that chariot. It's a very big field, Kurukshetra. He could have put that chariot anywhere. But he chose to put it right there in front of his grandfather and his teacher. Why? Anybody? Suggest an answer. Krishna Varaha Prabhu. Krishna Vahana Prabhu. Any suggestion? Why did Krishna put Arjuna's chariot right at that spot? Yes. Krishna knew what Arjuna's point was. His weak point. That weak point was attachment to family members identified with material body. So Krishna knew, if I park this person's chariot at this spot, he will see his grandfather and his teacher, his emotions will be aroused and evoked. Familial affection. As spoken by Krishna, chapter 1, verses 31, 32, around there. He speaks about seeing all his brothers-in-law, cousins, uncles arranged me before, ready to fight. Arjuna speaks this point. So Krishna's plan was successful. He evoked those emotions. Why did Krishna want Arjuna to speak that out? I am disturbed. Do you know why? Because I want to speak Bhagavad Gita using Arjuna as an excuse. The purpose of speaking Bhagavad Gita doesn't end 5,000 years ago at the battlefield of Kurukshetra. It begins at the battlefield of Kurukshetra and is continuing today. Wherever Bhagavad Gita you distribute, wherever page of Bhagavad Gita you read, that instruction of Krishna is flowing down through the parampara to you and to the fortunate souls that get a Bhagavad Gita. So Prabhupada says here that dealing with such reversals, by reacting to such reversals, you make more trouble for yourself. You make a greater difficulty for yourself. We may look to Shastra for some evidence of this. This is Canto 1, chapter 17, verses 18 to 20. Dharma the bull is approached by Parikshit Maharaj. As the duty of a Kshatriya, king, he has to go around to see how is his kingdom being run. So he comes upon a cow who has been beaten, mother cow, which is actually the Bhumi personified, and a bull who's standing on one leg, other three have been broken. And standing right next to this bull is a man, dark looking, nasty looking person who's actually Kali, with a stick. So when Parikshit Maharaj inquired from the bull, very obvious question, how have you been injured? What will most people in the world say immediately? Looking at the circumstances of the story, what will they say immediately? Who injured the bull? But Kali, the personality Kali, who was dressed up as a king. He was a low class but dressed up as a king. But Dharma's answer is very instructive. He says it's difficult to ascertain. And Prabhupada mentions in that purport, in the discussion here by Vaisheshika Prabhu, that if Dharma had acknowledged, okay, yes, Kali, he's the one that beat me, then based on that statement, Parikshit would have acted by either arresting, injuring, or killing Kali. And therefore, dharma would be implicated in further karma, so to speak. So the point is to avoid that cycle, the circle of karma and repeated karma, is to become neutral to the situation and understand that actually all of these things are happening by a higher arrangement called providence. So Prabhu, Vaisheshika Prabhu, mentioned one example. There's a devotee called Peter Burwash. I'm not sure his initiated name. But when he first came to Krishna consciousness, he gave some life membership, Lakshmi. It was $1,008. This was in the 1970s, so it's a huge amount of money. And the person who received this donation, he took the donation and he actually took the donation and he escaped. So Peter Burwash was like, kind of like, what? I give a donation for Krishna consciousness? I'm just coming to Krishna consciousness. This guy takes all the money. So he was disturbed. But Prabhupada was around at that time. And Prabhupada advised this devotee, Peter Burwash, don't be disturbed by the agent of your karma. I'm going to repeat that. Don't be disturbed by the agent of your karma. You know, Christianity says the Lord works in wonderful ways. And how true that is of Krishna. He can come out of a pillar, keep his devotees' words, kill a demon, satisfy many requirements by his devotee Brahma, all in one single blow. This is a supreme law. So, he may choose to use many people, even devotees in our surroundings, to accomplish his ends. But at the end of that entire episode, you will look back and say, that was so horrible. But now I see Krishna's plan for me. How many of you have been through a situation you were bewildered? What's going on? Put up your hand. And afterwards, like maybe a year or many years, you think, wow, Krishna was really merciful to me. If I had gone that way instead of this way, God knows what would have happened. But Krishna mercifully saved me. So we all know what we want. We all know what we want. But Krishna, he knows what we need. There's a very big difference here. Krishna knows what we need. So I came up with a little short acronym, abbreviation, J-A-I. What does it spell? Jai. So when you say Jai, you think, Jai. Do you say like that? Or you're excited? Srila Prabhupada ki. There you go. So it's a reason for celebrating, to be excited and happy. So but J-A-I stands for something. Just an instrument. So anytime you feel somebody is like getting on your case and you're thinking, Krishna, why? This guy is just on my case. Think in your mind, J-A-I. And instead of being, you'll say, Jai. Purification, Hari Bols, bring more. So today is also a most auspicious day, being the disappearance day of Srivas Pandit. He is one of the Panchatattva and Narada Muni actually. So I decided I will talk about one pastime that happened in relation to Srivas Thakur. But before I do that, I will request you all to think of one question that you may ask and I will attempt to answer. Once, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited his Mahaprakash Leela, where he exhibited various forms and he told devotees what their identity was. And at the end of this Mahaprakash Leela, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was giving benedictions like anything. However, one devotee was ignored and excluded. This is Mukunda Datta. So Mukunda Datta, of course, is associated with the Lord. He is very much close to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's described by Lord Chaitanya himself that Mukunda Datta's singing gave great, tremendous pleasure to the Lord, as well as the dancing of Vakreshwar Pandit. So he was ignored by the Lord. Then some other devotees, namely Srivas Thakur, approached Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on the behalf of Mukunda Dutt and says, "My Lord, you are giving benedictions to everybody, save and except Mukunda Datta. Why is this? Did he offend in some way? Please at least you tell me what is the offense. I can inform and he can adjust." Mahaprabhu says, "This person is approaching me with a stick and straw mentality." What is this stick and straw mentality? Oh, on one side is coming with a straw between his teeth in all humility. But in the other side, when he associates with Mayavadis and discusses Mayavadi philosophy, it is like taking a stick and beating my body. So I do not want to have anything to do with this Mukunda Datta. Please do not even mention his name. So Mukunda Datta was overwhelmed with grief and sorrow. He began to weep uncontrollably. I will not get the mercy of the Lord. And then Mahaprabhu continued admonishing Mukunda Datta in his absence to the devotees assembled at Shiva's Angan. And he said, "Mukunda Datta will only get my mercy after 1,000,000 lifetimes. Mukunda Datta will get my mercy after 1,000,000 lifetimes." You know, there's something called selective hearing. Like, for example, you're sitting in morning announcements. This morning's class will be given by blah, 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 and there'll be a feast. Feast. It's called selective hearing. So Mukunda Datta, he heard the part, Mukunda Datta will get my mercy. The other part of after only 1,000,000 lives was not even negligible for him. He just heard those words, Mukunda Datta will get my mercy. And when he heard this, he became so ecstatic, so overwhelmed with the happiness that he started dancing in ecstasy and he became overcome. So, of course, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in the heart. He knew this reaction, although he's inside the house. And he says, "Go and call Mukunda Datta." But they couldn't console him. He was so ecstatic. He says, "Lord is calling you, Baba, come." Then came before the Lord. He says, "Mukunda, I have tested you to see what will be your reaction if I reject you 100%. But by your enthusiasm, you have purchased me. I am defeated. What devotee you will hear that I will see him after 1,000,000 lifetimes still he is excited? This is the enthusiasm you have for Krishna consciousness, and for me, I cannot do anything. I am defeated." So in this way, Mukunda Datta got the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the house of Srivas Thakur, whose disappearance day it is today, because he saw, instead of seeing that situation as a reversal, he went to the flow. What is Krishna's plan for me? I was thinking about one point this morning, that, well, actually many points. I was discussing with Pankaj Jangri Prabhu how to present this talk, His Grace Pankaj Jangri Prabhu. And one point that came out at the end of that meeting was, I said to Prabhu, "Prabhu, you know what? If I present all these points, this class is going to be like 5 hours long." Don't worry, it's not going to be 5 hours long, but there's so many points, there's so much of nectar that we can squeeze out of these purports. Prabhupada says it is spiritual transcendental ecstasies. And we can discuss Bhagavatam threadbare, but for the pleasure of the Vaishnavas, I will stop here and take any questions or comments. Yes. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
So today we are very fortunate to hear a nice class, Prabhu, but I got only one doubt. So when the Lord is sanctioning authority for everything, what were the devotees and non-devotees actions are responsible to face the results of karma?
Could somebody repeat? I didn't catch that. I heard about the Lord be the witness of everything.
So once again, shall I repeat, Prabhu?
Please keep the mic a little away from your mouth.
So when the Lord is the sanctioning authority for each and everything,
Yes.
so whatever the devotees and non-devotees actions are responsible to face the karmas.
I'm not sure what your question is. Okay, I'm going to discuss part of your question because I'm not sure what you mean and I can't really hear you. So I heard Lord is the sanctioner. So we can discuss that point. And the other points will naturally flow because they're connected, kind of. So, in chapter 13, text 21, 22 and 23, this point is discussed. In text 23, your point is brought up, where Krishna is described as Upadarastu Anamantascha, overseer and permitter. In verses preceding this, it's discussed that the living entity is placed in situations where, according to his past desires, he's placed in the body and he acts out and he meets good and evil in various species of life. Now, him being placed in various species of life is not because of Krishna. We can never blame Krishna for anything that we go through. Krishna is Upadarashta Anamantascha, the overseer and permitter. He just witnesses. But he sanctions. He sanctions everything in a non-judgmental way. But that neutrality is broken of Krishna, is broken when the aspiring devotee turns his face to Krishna. I want to say the same thing again now. When a person, an individual, a living entity turns his face towards Krishna, the normal flow of karma, providence, destiny, fate, all of these things change. That's why I mentioned earlier in the presentation that destination can change, your destiny can change. How is that? Because when you surrender to Krishna in that way, Krishna personally takes charge. His Grace Pankajangri Prabhu was mentioning this morning when I spoke to him that Krishna is seated in the heart of every living entity as a super soul. And he accompanies the living entity as the super soul until his sojourn ends in the material world and he enters into the spiritual world. However, that same super soul will change his identity to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and associate with you on that higher level, not just as a neutral overseer and permitter, but will personally take part in your life and your decisions you make because you chose that. Every decision we make, every choice you make has a consequence. And when you choose to surrender to Krishna, that also has consequences. What is that? No more fear. No more fear. Sarva dharmam parityaja mam ekam sharanam raja aham tam sarva pape mokshayishai ma shukraha. Abandon all varieties of religion. Just surrender unto me alone. Krishna says, chapter 18, text 66. I will protect you from all danger. Do not fear. When I read that verse, I feel like my father is embracing me. Son, do not fear. Come what may, you will remain safe in my arms. Safest place in creation, besides Krishna Kirtan, is the arms of Krishna. Yes. So karma changes in accordance to your surrender and your acceptance of the will of the Lord. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you very much for Prabhu. Very nice clarification. Dhanyavad. Hare Krishna.
His Grace Jivanath Prabhu.
One time in a room conversation, there was a gentleman there who was asking Srila Prabhupada to read his palm. And Prabhupada was kind of like, and he kept saying, please, please Swamiji, I want you to read my palm. So Prabhupada says, all right, give me your hand. He looked at the gentleman's hand, he slapped it, and he said very gravely, all bad, birth, death, old age, and disease. But if you clap your hand in kirtan, all the lines will go away.
Itago Premanande! Perfect. Perfect statement. I think that's a good way to end also. So we can clap our hands together now. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki. Gaur Premanande. Keep clapping.